Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, right? If I get my watch working. And today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Nvidia, MSTY, Simsy, and PLTY. But before we get to that, let's look at the pre-market. I'm starting a little later than I wanted to, but got some problems here. Poison ivy literally everywhere. My right eye is about to be shut. But whatever. One eye, we could still record this video. Tesla in the pre-market, they are up 0.29%. That's good. Tesla's up 0.58%. Nvidia is not updated. Nvidia is up, oh no, it's down 0.06%. Coin is up 1.45%, and CONY is up 1.35%. MSTR is up 1.59%. MSTY is up 1.05%. T to the S to the L to the L is up 0.59%. TNA is up 0.58%. Bitcoin is up 1.14%. BitX is up 2.52%. Saxo is up 1.59%. SMCI is up 1.31%. SMCY is not updated. Palantir is down 0.16%. PLTY is down 0.06%. youre is up 0.36%. And TQQQ, they are up 0.56%. So overall, looks like a but looks like a green day. Green enough to be happy, right? So let's get moving here. Let's see who had trades too. TSLY is not at the top, which means they did not have trades. Again, this is how it's presented on the intraday trade download that you can get from the YieldMax website. Literally under any ticker, you click intraday download and it'll come up, right? The download has all the covered call ETFs, so you can see. I mean, CONY had an insane amount of trades. Haven't been able to look at that, but we'll look at that together. But I'm just going to stop in MSTY. So let's just see. MSTY, what'd you do? By the close, all right? By the close, 20 cents. That's good. But you go down here, they did it by the close 806. Like, what the heck? What intonation? So I'm not quite sure what happened there. I also don't know where MSTR was yesterday, if it was up, down, all around. But either way, whatever. Let's get to the spreadsheet and go from there. They did not touch the synthetic positions. So the three synthetics, the two at 370 with, two different dates, 711, 718, and the synthetic at 380. Again, went untouched, so no need to talk about that. But let's get to the weeklies tab. Let's see how the stock did yesterday. So MSTR, it ended up 2.68%. MSTY captured 2.33%. So that's not that bad. IV percentage, IV from day to day went down. So it went from 49.75% to yesterday being 48.17%. And then today, if you look at the top sell H1, it's actually down yet again to 45.32%. So MSTR continues to be, have a lower and lower and lower and lower and lower implied volatility, which is unfortunate, but at this point, whatever. All right, so let's look at the trades that they closed. Again, they closed to the 420. If you look, MSTR is at 377. The 420 is what? Out of the money. So what does that mean? It's going to cost chump change to close and only cost 20 cents per share to close. They actually only got 81 cents per share to open it, which is, really low. But regardless, a win is a win, and they cashed out $112,000 profit on that sucker. All right, let's keep going down here. This is the other one we saw. They paid 806, which is really confusing. It was a 380. I'm not sure why they closed this one. Because again, MSTR, it's at 377. It's under 380. But again, there's a lot of time value left. And MSTR could have been priced above the 380. So I'm not quite sure. I don't understand the point of closing this trade out, to be honest. But again, I don't know the timing of it. I'm not sure. There's so many different strike prices, so many different contracts. Why choose this one? Why not go further out? Why not choose the 390? Why not choose, something in the 400s, right? If we have any left. Yeah, we got 420s. Why close out the 380 and take the loss? I'm just confused on that. But either way, it was a loss of net 927,000. So yeah. Anyway, let's move down. And then we go here, the new trades. How many trades we got? We got a lot of freaking trades, man. Like, what the heck? So yeah, 2,500, 2,500. So they added a whole bunch of trades. Did a quick copy paste. Some of it's for this week, some of it's for next week. They vary from 2, 3, 4, and 5% out of the money. So we'll see how that plays out. Outstanding shares, no change. But what I forgot to cover yesterday, they did have a decrease of 1.3 mil. Do you believe that? Do you believe it? It's hard to believe. I don't believe it. Anyway, oh my God, so itchy. I can't even explain how itchy this freaking poison ivy is. But MSTY, the recap is their price is 21.05. MSTR is at 377.02. 30-day IV, 45%. Outstanding shares, 225 mil, 850,000. Total net income, 113 mil. Total distribution, 50 cents. Total daily income, 2 cents a day. Total daily yield, 0.11%. And if you annualize that sucker, it's 39%. So not quite the IV, but they'll get there maybe by the end of the week. We shall see. All right, let's move on. MSTR funds. I did miss something yesterday. MSTR did add more Bitcoin. All right, they bought more Bitcoin, 245 more Bitcoin. So now they have 592,345 Bitcoin. They did this on June 23rd. So that's crazy. All right, so if we look at yesterday, MSTR had a good day, right? They went up 2.68%. MSTY went up 2.33%. Winter went down, as expected, 1.71%. IMST, they went up 2.72%, so a little more than MSTY. MST went up 4.81%, and then MS2 went up 3.17%. So MST for the win yesterday, all right? So yeah, but why? Again, the leverage, right? Leverage. So if MSTR goes up, they're going to go up, a little more, right? What are they, 1.5 or 2x leverage? I don't even freaking remember at this point, but obviously they went up. It looks like almost double. Yeah. But yeah, good job, MST. Good job, bruh. 7 days till declaration date for MSTY. Oh, yeah. But today is Group C. So we'll see what Group C pays. We'll see what the cone heads get, and we'll go from there. All right, synthetic income. What do we got? Nothing. We got negative money. So again, that's losses. So if we look at the weeklies, yeah, 113 mil. That's cool. That's about 50 cents per share, right? We take that, we throw it into the Rotometer. Rotometer calculates with all things being equal, you get 66 cents, 41% yield. But if the IV is higher than that, we're going to default to the IV as the low point. Again, we'll call it the low point. 45% yield would be a 73-cent payment, which, yeah, that's low. That's low, man. Look at the last payment, $1.47. Payment before that, $2.37. So if we get paid 73 cents, yeah, that's super low and unexpected, and people are going to be pissed. But again, the IV is just, when it's this low, what can you do, brother? What can you do? All right, let's look at the trades for that remain for the week. Let's get that all on one page. There you go. MSTR price 377. So the font, the black font, there you go. Black font expires this week. The lowest strike is 382.50, 1.45% out of the money, and the highest strike is a 420, 11.4% out of the money. So they got like 6 strike prices varying anywhere from 1 to 11% out of the money. Is that safe? I mean, who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? They do have a buy call sandwich in between. 10,000 contracts. They bought a call at 400. We'll see if that comes into play. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But even next week, man, they have a 380 next week. That's 0.79% out of the money. So I don't know. Again, there's not much you could do with this low vol. But We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. One week at a time, man. Synthetics, you know, what are they sitting at? 370, 380. MSTR is at 377. These expire July 11th and July 18th, so we'll see if that does anything. Overall, looks like these synthetics are worth what? About 30 cents. So no bank bro there. The value of the MSTY fund is 4.7 bill. The NAV is 2104. Trade price 2105. Synthetic contracts, they total to be 126,215. They are selling calls on 98% of that now. 124,925, at least based on what I'm calculating. And then they are doing credit call spreads on 11% of that, on those positions. All right. Again, I kind of rushed things this morning, so don't be surprised if I made a damn mistake. All right. If we look at IMST, what do we got? We got synthetics, yeah, in the bottom, 2,460, and then the calls at the top. So let's take a look at those. What expires this week? 627. We got a 375 and a 380. 375 is 0.54% in the money, and the 380 is 0.79% out of the money. So IMST, not much wiggle room there. Obviously, they have other calls that go out a little further dated. They did add a 7.3, it looks like. And they also have 7.18 expirations. Again, more flexibility in this fund. Of their synthetics, they're selling calls on about 50%, it looks like. I did try to calculate their NAV as compared to their closing price. Their NAV based on the the total value under market value, right? Total value of the fund is 95 mil. Outstanding shares are 1.8 mil, so the NAV comes to about 51.20. However, the closing price is priced 50 cents above that at 51.70. So we're going to keep an eye on that. They have declaration date, which is the 26th. So that's coming up, right? That's coming up, tomorrow? So we'll see what they pay. Again, this will be only their second payment, and then we'll talk about that. All right, MST, again, this is the freaking leverage one. Craziness going on here. Obviously, they have swaps, they buy calls, they sell calls. So how are their sell calls doing? They all expire Friday. There's a 375 that's in the money, 0.54% of the money. And then they got a 380 that's barely out of the money. And then a 380, 250, and a 385. We'll see how all that plays out. What do we got here? So they declared when? 24th. Right? Was that yesterday? Again, my stupid watch is a pain in my ass. So today's the 25th. So yes, if we look, they pay 20 cents. That comes to a 72% yield. As compared to, it looks like last week was around 93%, which, with the vol drop, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so whatever, all good. Last but not least, MS2. They got 217 contracts on the synthetic, and they're selling calls on half, so that makes sense. No issues there. Again, they declared yesterday they declared 29 cents, which is a 62% yield, which is pretty obnoxiously insane, considering they're selling calls on only half the position. So I don't know. It could be the timing of what that represents, right? How much of a period that represents. I'm only showing 7 days, but maybe they cut off the first one and they extended the second one. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm showing, again, they declared, 29 cents, I believe, which is a 62% yield. So pretty nice distribution there. Again, they pay weekly. MS2 and MST pay weekly. IMST pays monthly. MSTY pays every 4 weeks, just to make everything even more complicated. All right, let's just keep going down the line here. TSLY did not have trades, but we will cover them next. Let's take a look at the file. All right, TSLY yesterday, what happened? They went down 2.41%. TSLY went down 1.74%. So, kind of as expected, red day after that big super-duper green day. Synthetic-wise, how they doing? Well, they got a 320, they got a 335, and a 340. Why is this all crunched up? I don't know, but whatever. Fix that. There you go. TSLY sits at 340, so they're doing well in the synthetics. Covered calls, I mean, way too many, man. Way too many to look at, but let's try. Everything expires this week. If you go under QSIP, scroll to the left here, everything expires June 27th. So if you look at the items in blue, these are the covered calls. The lowest strike is a 342.50. That is 0.6% out of the money. And then they have a 345, a 347.50, a 370, 375, 380, 382.50. So they go anywhere from 0.6% out of the money to 12.34% out of the money. Scatteredy freaking doodah, man. So they're ready. They're ready for it. They're saying, don't sing it, bring it. So yeah, they could capture a decent amount of upside still, which is pretty good considering. So, and they do have buy call sandwiches in between. So they are ready for war here. And you never know with Tesla, man. You never know. It trades freaking wild. It's nuts. The value of the TSLY fund is 1.1 bill. The NAV is 863. Trade price is the same, just on the money. All right, synthetic is worth about 13 cents per share. 30-day IV, 63%. IV estimate based on that, 42 cents. Income estimate is negative, so we can't really talk about that. Nothing to get excited about there. But Group A does declare in 14 days on July 9th, so stay tuned for that, Chico. All right, Nvidia, did they have trades? Probably. Let's go to the trade file, and we can scroll. All right, we see purple alert, buy to close put. All right, so they're closing out their synthetic. Interesting move here. And yeah, they're selling the call. They had a 120. Look at the price. They're at 147.90. So good Lord, that's a lot of money. They just made 165 freaking mil. Like, are you kidding me, brah? And then they basically rolled, they kept the same date, and they rolled the strike price up from 120 to 146, which is closer to at the money. But the moral of the story here is bank, bro. Banky, bro. Banky, 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 bro. So let's go take a look and see what that income comes to. I keep itching random spots, and it keeps spreading. Not sure what I could do for this outside of just waiting and spraying some stuff to make it not itch. Anyway, Nvidia is they went up 2.52% yesterday. Nvidia only went up 1.61%. So what do you call this? You call this the cappity-doo-dah. So they got a cappity-doo-dah, cappity-day. Cap, what a wonderful day. Well, not really, man. We only captured 63% of the upside there. But whatever, bruh. Whatever, broski. All right, so what are they doing? Again, they closed at what? The 130? Not all of it, apparently, right? It looks like it's now split 50-50. They got 130. They got 146. So, again, they closed out. They made a lot off the 130, but not, there's more to be made, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that. Again, I'm learning with you guys here. I only kind of go through MSTY. These other suckers, this is the first time I'm looking at them because who the hell has time? All right, let's look at their covered calls for the week. Everything expires June 27th. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see. Why are they cappity-doo-dah? Well, take a look at this. The lowest strike is 146. It's 1.28% in the money. The next strike is 147. That's the biggest position, and that's in the money by 0.61%. The others are barely out of the money, 0.07%, 0.74%, and 1.42% out of the money. So, again, not much wiggle room for, Nvidia here. So you're kind of hoping for a red day. But guess what? You may have to roll these suckers up, and cash out the rest of the synthetic. What do you think, brus? What do you think, bruh? All right, the value of the Nvidia fund is 1.7 bill, borderline at 2 bill here. We are approaching 2 bill. Nvidia is. The NAV is 16.14, trade price 16.15. Synthetic bailout is worth, $1.09. So that is the bank bro that we were talking about. So is that awesome? I mean, I think it's pretty damn good. When do they declare though? Not for a long time. 21 days. But anyway, their 30-day IV is 31.78%. IV estimate based on that, 39 cents. Income estimate. The synthetic on the paper is 109. The cash out from yesterday and during the cycle is now up to $1.44 per share, which would come to a 115% yield. Now we can say bank brah. Bank brah. All right, let's move on. Moving on, baby. CONY head. So it looks like CONY had a lot of trades. Bear with me here. I got to get to that. I already freaking got to pee. And I'm thirsty. I'm a mess today. I am a mess. All right, let's look at cone heads. Oh boy, buy to close, put, sell. What are they doing? They're cashing out. They are cashing out the synthetic. They got a 300. They just cashed out. They moved it to a 330, but look what they closed at, a 344. So maybe that was earlier in the day. And then they're closing calls again, which probably got whooped. So let's take a look. 24.64. Yep, that's an ass kicking. That cost about 10 mil. Then they closed this one, 28.82, 14 mil loss, 26.61 per share, 15 mil loss. And then they're closing more of the synthetic. Okay. All right, the 300. So they're cashing out some of that bank, brah. All right. So there's a lot going on here. So basically, they closed out most, if not all, of their calls, and they cashed out synthetic. I don't know if it's all of it, but we'll have to look at the file. But synthetic bailout day in the making. All right, let's go here. Let's see how Coin did yesterday. Yeah, man, these are the days you don't want to happen when you own a covered call ETF. But Coin went up 10.8%. CONY was only able to capture 6.24%. So that is a 57% upside capture. Not ideal at all. Synthetic wise, let's see. Okay, so it looks like they closed out the entire 300 synthetic and they rolled it all into the 330. So good for them. All right, so this one now expires August 15th. So we can wait and just chill until then. All right, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see what we got covered call wise. Let's see if they closed out everything. So if we look at QSIP, they actually, everything they open is still within the week. It's still with an expiration date of 6/27. So any low strikes left? Absolutely. They still have a 342.50, 0.67% in the money. But then they got a 350, 1.5% out of the money. Are those safe? I don't know, man. Coin's been going up so much. It's hard to imagine it can keep up, but hey, we'll see. And they got a buy call, a little long call in between. We'll see if that helps out. And then they're selling calls. These are the ones they probably moved up yesterday to a 360, 362.50, and a 365. 4 to 5% out of the money. So hopefully, if Coin does go up, these will allow them to capture more of the upside, especially more than they did yesterday, right? Because they kind of got their asses beat yesterday. The value of the CONY fund is 1.4 bill. The NAV is 958, trade price 961, 3-cent difference. Synthetic on the paper, it's already worth 43 cents per share. So that's some bank, bro, if I've ever seen it. Income estimate, man. Wow, 20. That's it? That sucks. I don't even know. Let's make sure we're pulling the right data here. Go to Coin. Oh yeah, because I don't know what it was, but again, I had to restart Group C to start on Monday. This past Monday is their new cycle. So I did shut off anything that they made earlier. And by the way, they declared today, so it doesn't really matter. But for this week alone, they have made 29 cents per share, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's go back to CONY. So income estimate right now, again, 29 cents. But they declared today. All right, they declare today. We got 28 days till the next declaration, so that money's for next. What are they going to pay today? Again, who the hell knows? I don't even remember what I guesstimated. Doesn't really matter at this point. They probably already announced, so let's just move on. All right, up next is the Simsy suckers. Right, five time, WCW. All right, what do we got here? Misty, nope. Tiss me, nope. All right, Simsy had trades. No PLTY though. Okay, good. Whatever. Less work for me. All right, buy call, sell put, sell call. All right, simply just adding to the 45 synthetic and selling a call at what, 45? All right, whatever. Let's go take a look. All right, my bad. I clicked the wrong one. All right, SMCY, how you doing? Well, I'm doing good. I went up 4.55% yesterday. SMCY, how you doing? Well, I'm doing just fine too. I went up 4.15%. So, yeah, 91% capture. That's how it's done, sucker. All right, that's a pretty good job. Awesome capture by SMCY. Synthetics, they got a 45. It expires 8/15, so no worries. They'll catch up. They'll catch up, right? Degenerate company like SMCY with their auditor issues and all that. Did they ever fix that? Who the hell really knows, right? But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, they're selling calls. They all expire when? Let's go to QSIP column. 6/27. That is this Friday. That is 3 trading days, 3 full trading days. Lowest strike price, $45. 5% out of the money. That's the lowest. Hell to the yeah. I mean, oh, hell yeah. But the other day, keep in mind, they were red as hell. They were ready to do that. All right, the highest strike is a 48, 12% out of the money. So they are scattered-do. They are set up nicely. I mean, no complaints here on SMCY. The value of the fund, though, chump change, only 199 mil. The NAV is 1902, trade price 1903. Synthetic on the paper, negative. 30-day IV, 66%. IV estimate based on that, 97 cents. Income estimate, negative 27 cents. So hopefully, I don't know, man. I don't know. They declare next week, so we got to shut down after freaking Friday. So whatever income they got, that's what we're going to use for the guesstimate. It doesn't look like they're going to be making bank, brah. But even though, you know, their 30-day IV is much higher than some of these other suckers, so you'll still get a decent yield. All right, let's look at Palantir. They did not have a trade yesterday, which is all good. It's all good. It's all right. Palantir all night. All right, Palantir went up 2.31% yesterday. PLTY went up 1.72%. All right, that is not a good capture, really. That's a 74% capture on a 2.3% upside day. So we'll have to look at the calls. They're probably close, if not somewhat cappity-doo-dah. But if we look at their synthetic, how you doing? It's a 140. It expires July 18th. Is it making money? Well, not really, but they are priced ahead of it, so it's good. Now let's look at the calls. Again, when do these expire? If you go to the QSIP column, that's the best way. 6/27. So they're selling 4 covered calls. 141, that is 1.56% in the money. A 142, that is 0.86% in the money. And then a 143, that is 0.16% in the money. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, we are cappity-doo-dah, right? We saw why were they only able to capture, you know, such a small percent, which 74%, you know, that's not bad. That's not terrible. But on a 2.3% up day, normally we would capture, you know, much more, much closer. But since our covered calls are pretty capped, that is why. So I just wanted to explain that. They do have one more call that's out of the money, 145. But we'll see what they do today. If Palantir continues to go up, they'll probably cash these suckers out, roll them up. But the question is, will they roll them up to this week or next week? The value of the PLTY fund is 672 mil. The NAV is 66.62, and the trade price is 66.69. Synthetic on the paper is actually worth $1.55, so that's pretty damn good, actually. 30-day IV, 47%. IV estimate based on that, 245. Why? Because PLTY fund, you know, you saw, what, $66. That's why, man. They're freaking... Just based on their IV. Their IVs ain't much, 47%, but IV estimate based on a $60 fund. Good Lord, that's a lot of money, $245. And even better, guys, their income estimate already is 1131. So they're part of Group B. We have to wait 21 days till declaration, but still, man, this is a really, really good fund that's kicking ass all over the place. They are GOAT number 2. Should they be GOAT number 1? Should they take the MSTY crown of GOAT? It's hard to say that because MSTY is a gigantic fund, right? A lot of love for MSTY. And you can't compete with the MSTY Mafia. PLTY Posse's right there, though. They're right there. But, man, oh, man, they're not even $1 billion fund. So step it up, PLTY. Step it up, PLTY Posse. You're slacking. All right, so that's the update on the YieldMax fund. So right now, we will go to now my options plays. What did I do as a degenerate options trader? So I did this about to close yesterday. Yeah, this was this I already closed. I gotta gray this out since I talked about it. All right, so let's gray this out. This was talked about on a previous day. No problem there. All right. So I had an interesting decision to make yesterday. I was closing calls. I don't know if you remember, but I opened calls on the 23rd, right, on the Monday, and I made 15 bucks on one, 8 bucks on another, and 85 on another. So the decision on the where is it? The 17 and the 18 strike, that was easy, right? Because I made about, if you look here, how much premium did I keep of it? 75%, 80%. So that's a no-brainer. In one day, if I can keep that much premium, I will close that position, especially if I still have that trading day and 3 others, all right? So that's a no-brainer. The hard decision was this one. Again, remember I sold a call in the money? It was 12% in the money. But since Tesla went down yesterday, I was able to make a decision to pay how much? $1.05. I got $1.90 per share credit. The day before, I decided to take it. So I paid $1.05 and I closed this sucker out. Why? Well, so because the 13, it was in the money and it's still in the money, so it's still in danger of assignment. And also, if I could make an $85 trade in a day, which is, again, 44% of the premium, not 50, because 50 is kind of my rule, but 44% of the premium, that's really good money. In fact, look at the annualized yield on that, 1,448%, because I made 85 bucks in a day for fronting $1,479, basically. These other two, look at those I annualized, again, for one-day trade, 253%, 136%. This is when it's helpful to be active. So in the end, I got all my shares back, right? They're not attached to a covered call anymore. I got 300 shares that are back on the loose, and I'm ready. If today's green, guess what? I'll sell calls on all 3 of them again. Probably not, but I could do 1 or 2, probably, reasonably. I don't have to go crazy. But the problem is, since I paid $105 to close out this trade, I no longer have hit my goal for the week, which is okay, but I'm still close to there. But, I'll get that money back. Don't worry. And then I sold a put yesterday because, again, TSLY was down. I sold a put for 11 bucks. I did go into next week, though. 20% out of the money. Delta was 0.12. That paid me about 20 bucks, and that was a 73% annualized yield. So, again, really good day on TSLY. I did get early assignment on, where is it? The $11, the one that's way in the money. The buyer decided to, buy it early. They took my shares at 11 bucks, so I got early assigned. So I went from 800 total shares of TSLY. Now I am down to 700. I also am only selling calls on 300, so I have total of 400 uncovered shares, which is awesome. Now, as far as total income for the week on TSLY, that's $128 at this moment. All right, sound good? Great. TNA, what did I do yesterday? I think TNA was green, right? But anyway, I sold a call. It was at 33? I sold a call at 37. That expires next week. 12% out of the money. Delta on that was 0.13. And the premium paid was about 20 cents per share. Annualized yield on that, weak sauce, only 24%. But you know what, guys? That's okay, because some of these other trades I'm making a lot more annualized. I just have to average 50% total on on all of the money, basically. But I think if I look here, yeah. So I now have every single share covered. So I own 600 shares. I have covered calls on all 600, which is okay. So if TNA goes green today, I can't sell covered calls. All right, because I didn't close any yesterday. I don't think it was worth it for me because they weren't red yesterday. TSLY was. Anyway, for the week, I have made $169 from TNA. So let's look at the totals for the week. Total for the week, I am at $297 now. Again, I did make the goal of $351 the day before, but again, I had to pay at 105. I closed out one of the degenerate plays positions early, which is okay. I only need $54 to make the 351 for the week, and that's easy peasy, brah. So stay tuned for that. All right, anyway, what else? That's it, man. That's it. So that's the update on my trades. We'll see how today goes. Again, today looks rather green, which is good. So we'll keep an eye out for that. I can go back here just to look at the pre-market data. We can look at we can look at Tesla. Let's just look at Tesla. It's at 341. So again, we'll see how that goes, and we'll go from there. Again, we trade options ourselves because it's fun. It's fun, okay? All right, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow. All right, come back tomorrow. We will be fully entertained. Hopefully my eyes a little more open. Right now it's half closed. I'm supposed to do an interview today too. So I guess I'm going to keep the camera off because I look like sloth at the moment. So that's not really good. Not a good thing. Not a good look, right? And my arm is blown up to smithereens here. I don't even want to mention where else I have freaking poison ivy. But man, this crap spreads. All right, what else? What did I say? Not financial advice? Yes, fun and entertainment. You guys know that. If you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below. Or if you have a video question, type video question and type in the comments below. Yes, there's a lot of spam lately. It's hard for me to, block it when I'm at work, but when I'm at home, sometimes I could type in the keyword in order to block it. And obviously it's easier for me to block them on the computer at home. But anyway, yes, all the spam is taken care of. I saw a smart ass comment that says I purposely leave the spam in order to look that I have comments. Believe me, I do not want spam as my comments. So maybe he was kidding, maybe not. And I also have a lot of moderators, but maybe I'll get some more moderators to help me out delete those spam messages. So moderators, if you're out there, I saw some of you probably may have deleted some yesterday actually, because when I got home they were gone. Most of them were gone, but so thank you very much. All right, we made it to the end of the video, so let's just end it before I keep yapping. So if you made it to the end of this video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. All right, the keyword today is poison ivy. Why not? Poison ivy. Did you ever get poison ivy, and how bad do you get it? Apparently, I'm the only one that gets it in this family. My kids, my wife, they don't get it. I go near a freaking tree with poison ivy, I get it. But I don't know, I guess some people are different. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the keywords poison ivy, because poison ivy sucks, all right? Sucks. So now today I'm supposed to be somewhere at work and I can't. I'm going to stay home because I only have one eye to drive. So that being said, you have to type in the comments down below poison ivy and then type whatever else we want on top of that. All right. Or you could type, do you get poison ivy? Do you get poison ivy? Do you get it bad? And what do you do when you get it? Like, what do I do with my eye since it's like closing? I guess I just wait, right? I can't really spray it, but I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think it went well. Who the hell knows, right? Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but you guys can let me know. Feel free to be honest in the comments. But either way, I appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully this one gets uploaded on time. Sorry about yesterday. It was just a weird issue. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.